Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and it's great to be back in my craft room, back making videos again. My craft room is looking quite different to what it did before. I've had the makeover, the new windows, the new flooring. It looks amazing, and I've done lots of reorganisation, a certain amount of decluttering, and I've kind of reorganised things to make them hopefully work better for me. I've got some stuff around me that I really use all the time. So I've still got a few boxes that haven't been unpacked because I need another unit, like a bookcase, a narrow bookcase. I bought one, which I filled. I wanted to, but the other one keeps going out of stock, and I've just not been able to get it quickly enough. So I'm hoping that's going to come in the next few days, and I'll be able to order it quick, get it up, and then I can unpack the rest of my boxes. But so there's a bit more work to be done, but I thought I've got enough of what I need to get started on my videos again, and I thought I'd start with the Altered Index Challenge. You may have thought I wasn't going to do it anymore, but that's far from the case. There was one I missed on purpose, and you saw me upload my start of my 50s journal, just showing you what I was going to be using. But then the one last week I would have done, but of course I had no craft room to use. I had no stuff. It was all packed away, which was tea time. And I had something in my mind to do for that. So I thought rather than going back and constantly be behind, I'll just do the current one, which is going to be week 11, week 12, I beg your pardon. Week 12, transparent. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. So I was thinking about transparent. What's transparent? And of course windows are the obvious thing to use, but we've done doors and windows. So I thought, well, I don't really want to do another window type video. I know I kind of did it in a slightly different way when I did the doors and windows. But I thought the other thing I kind of wanted to do, I thought I could do, would be like a picture frame with the glass on it, which is transparent, so you can see the image from the other side. So I just thought that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and it's a fairly simple idea, but it may not be that simple to do because my idea may not work out that well, because I usually end up getting in a bit of a mess. So we'll see how it goes. I want to do like a wallpaper background. Then I've got a small number of frames that I kept in a box. I've had them for years. They kind of came in kits when I was doing scrapbooking and never really used them. So I've got this one. I did have another one prepared, but when I put it on the card, it almost took up the whole card. I thought, well, that's too big. So I went back and I've found this one. And what I've done, because it was on fairly flimsy cardstock, so I've backed it with some file folder. And I thought, well, that's quite a good size. And that's just going to go in the middle. It's going to be like it's hanging on the wall. And then I have one of these images, one of these ladies, and I can't remember where I got them from. I've had them a little while, but they look perfect. I thought she was perfect in the frame. I'm just going to line it up so that we can see pretty well all of her face, because she's kind of quite near the top of the image, so I've got to be careful to get as much of her in as I can. But I thought she looked lovely in there. But what I'll have to do is do some work on the frame to make it look fitting for the picture. So, and I'm going to put obviously some transparent film, some plastic, into that window, so that will be the transparent part. But what I thought I could do to start with, and this is where I'm not sure how it's going to work out. No, I don't need that one. I want to do a kind of striped background, like a striped wallpaper. That's what I was thinking. A bit like a Regency stripe, but I don't know how it's going to turn out. So this is the bit where I'm a bit unsure. I've got a picture in my head, but I don't think it'll turn out as well as I would like. But I'm going to try it, because I've got a number of options how I might do it. Got that one as well. So what I thought I might try and do, I've got a flat-headed brush, and I'm going to try and just line up this card, try and keep it as straight as I can, because that's always the issue, isn't it? I could end up with stripes going slightly diagonally across the across the page if I'm not careful. And I just thought I'd kind of paint down like that to try and get a stripe and then move along, leaving a gap in between. And if I can, I want to do a wide stripe and a narrow stripe, wide stripe, narrow stripe. That's the idea. Who knows how it'll turn out, but got to try these things. That's what this challenge is all about, isn't it? Try new things. Seeing what I can come up with. So I'm going to do that. It's the most glorious day today. I think it's the warmest day of the year so far. So we're kind of in the middle of March. This is normally our day to have Arlo. Because that's Thursday morning. Well, it's nearly Thursday lunchtime now. But he's off on his holidays with his mum and dad. They've gone to the seaside. I think they're staying in a holiday camp somewhere on the south coast. I think it's on the south coast. I mean, my geography is rubbish. With another family. So I'm hoping they're having. Well, what we have heard that they have said they're having a lovely time. So yeah, quite an experience for him. His first sort of holiday that he's probably fully, getting into doing all the activities and things. He's 18 months now, can you believe? 18 months. It's gone so quick. Right, now the key is try not to go under the card when I'm painting, so I've kept it as light touch as I could. Peel that up without smudging, and I've got a, relatively straight line. So I'll leave a little gap. Try and line up, so if I get this card, hopefully it's straight at the bottom here, and that'll make the vertical line straight. I mean, it could be a little smoother on the edge. I mean, I suppose it could do it with a masking tape, but that would take too long, don't you think? So now I'm going to try and do a narrower one. A bit more tricky, because I now haven't got a left-hand edge to follow. So I've got to try and go straight. Not my best thing, straight lines. Why on earth I decided to do a stripe, I don't know. I just thought it'd be a contrast to the picture itself, which has got a floral background, and so I didn't want to do floral wallpaper. And I don't have a stripy stencil or anything really like that would be suitable, so I probably could have found something else, but I just fancied doing something different. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm just hoping it can sort of have a vague look of a stripe. Well, not too vague, but it also won't be perfect. So it's just lovely to be back in my little room with it looking a lot smarter, I have to say, with the new floor. It's quite a heavy duty vinyl that I've got on this end. Now I'm probably going to mess it up now. Just wanted to tidy this up, but I haven't done a great job of it. Oh well, let's try and lift this up. Okay, that's not too bad. I might just try and wipe it off a bit so I don't get too much extra paint coming off. And on the back. There we are. Okay, let's go again. I've got to try and do one that's a bit wider again. I don't think it matters too much if they're not all perfect. No good if it does matter, because it won't be. So I'm trying to just go with the width of the brush. Oh, I'm going under the card here. That's not a good look. That's not a good idea. So So when I pull it up, I'm going to have a slightly wobbly line, I think. But hopefully that bit will be under the picture, or I'm going to also do something over the top of the... Oh, I've gone off. I need to concentrate. Stop making me talk. Not going to go... It's not going to look good, I don't think, on the other side. I think I've gone under. That's the other people saying, oh, you know, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, and then they end up doing something amazing. I never do that. I'm pretty rubbish at this, but I keep trying. Yeah, not great. Maybe I just need to... Let's just wipe that a bit. What I might do is just move it along and just do another line. Try not to keep making it wider and wider to tidy it up. I go to about there. Oop, I need more paint now. Oop. Let's just see if we can tidy this up, make it a bit neater. It's a case of holding down the card so the brush can't go underneath it, which is what happened. Okay, let's see if that looks any better. A little bit. Hopefully in the scheme of things it won't show too much, that it's not, the lines are not perfectly straight. I mean, I could have used washi tape, I suppose, to make a... Maybe that's what I should do. Washi tape it. Should I try that? But then you can't do it both sides because it'll stick onto the one you've just painted, so it will just take twice as long that way, won't it? That's my concern, really. I'll just keep trying. Move it along. Try and do another narrow one. Narrow one didn't go too bad last time, but who knows what happened this time. It's kind of like half the width of the... Is that too far across? I think it is. Bring it in a little. Okay. Right, I shall probably speed up the camera now because this is going to be painful for you otherwise. Right, so got my stripe. Not perfect, never expected it to be, but it's not too bad. So I've got narrow and wide stripes, which is kind of what I was aiming for. As you saw, I trimmed off a bit of this so that I didn't get too much paint build up, so I had a clean piece to work with. Just seen it's a bit of places. Yeah, this one is not great. It's quite a wobbly line, but I think, and I'm going to then do some stamping over the top of this as well. But I need to wait for this to dry, or I'm going to get my heat gun in, my heat tool, whatever you call it, and dry it off, and then see if I've got time to do a bit more. It's very nearly lunchtime. I've been kind of pottering about in here. My husband and I were planning to go out for a walk and lunch about an hour and a half ago, but I was having fun in here. He was out in the garden enjoying himself. So we decided to ditch the walk and the lunch, and which was going to be sort of about half an hour's drive away, and we're just going to possibly go out for lunch in about 3/4 of an hour or something. So we're just going to see how we feel very shortly, whether we're still going to do that, or whether we're just going to have a bit of lunch here. I'd quite like to go out for lunch. We don't very often have days like this, which are so beautifully sunny. It'd just be nice to go out for a little bite to eat and then come back and carry on. So then I can come back and finish my video. But I think I've got time. I mean, this paint does dry quite quickly. Even in the time I've been talking, it looks almost dry. Because these stripes, you know, are drying, unless it's a bit thick in places where it hasn't quite dried. So I'll just give it a quick blast with the heat tool, and then we'll just do a bit of stamping and see where we are. I'm just going to clear up my paint a little bit. Oh, by the way, in case you're interested, where's the paint? This is just a Hobbycraft acrylic paint, and the colour is light sage. It's a favourite colour of mine. I really like this colour. And I thought it would be a really nice, give it the right sort of feel of the era. Now I've made a horrible mess with my baby wipe. Okay, so I'll be right back when I've dried this off. Well, that didn't take too long. So now I thought I've got this slightly sort of flourishy, curly-whirly stamp, had for years. And I thought I'd just do a bit of something all over it to make it less flat, I suppose, less plain. I've been umming and ahhing. I've got the Archival ink in Library Green to do the green on green, a dark green on the light green, whether to do black. I think I'm going to go for green and hope it looks okay. So let's see how it looks. Yeah, I think that will be okay. So I hope you've all been keeping well and not picked up any of these nasty bugs that have been going around. I'm coming to the end of the cough and cold that I've had for about 3 weeks, I think. I'm just kind of coming out of that now. My husband's not been very well. He picked up a cold, thought he'd fought it off, and then he went and ran a half marathon at the weekend, last weekend. Thought he was he thought he was fine, but it had really taken it out of him. I think that cold virus was lurking in his system still, and he's not really been right since. Oh, like that. It's a case of how do I do that? I'll do it. That. Okay, kind of like that. I think it's a bit different. Oops. Yeah, so he's not been himself, and he's got this really nasty cough developed now, which he didn't have before. So I don't know if that's the result of the running. I mean, he struggled with the run. Oh, what am I doing? Wrong lid. Struggled a bit with the run, which he, wasn't really expecting, and it was really bitterly cold where he was running as well, which really affected him too. So yeah, he didn't have fun. But I think he learned a few lessons through it. You know, you can't take a half marathon lightly. Not that he did, but I think he just thought he was in better shape physically. Although his, you know, legs and everything, they worked fine. It was the internally he struggled. Right, so we've got that, got our wallpaper. Now I'm looking at the clock. I'm going to have to go and check in with him, see what we're going to do. So I will be back probably after lunch to get this finished off. I think I'm really quite liking how that's going. So I'll see you very shortly. Right, I'm back from lunch, and a lovely lunch it was too. And I'm going to carry on working on this prompt for the Altered Index Challenge. I didn't mention, did I, at the beginning, when I should have done, that this is hosted by Non-Stop Paper Crafts, and it's the Altered Index 2025, just in case anybody hasn't seen it before. So if you go into, I will link, what's her name? The name's Suzanne. I'll link Suzanne's channel below, and you'll be able to find all the links for the prompts if you wanted to. So I've got this frame that I'm going to use for my picture, and of course I want to do something to it. So I think what I want to do is paint it gold, make it look kind of old and ornate. That's the idea, an old ornate frame, because it's quite an old looking picture. So I need to make it sort of in keeping. So I've got some gold acrylic paint here. So I think I'm going to start with that. I'm going to try and paint the frame with this gold. I don't know, I might need 2 coats, so we'll see how it goes. So yeah. So we went to a cafe we've been to before, but not for a long while. It's a whole food cafe, so it's all vegetarian and vegan, and we've always liked it, but we knew it was under new management, so it kind of made us a little bit wary of going, because sometimes new management can actually make things not worse, because I think there was nothing to really make worse. It was very nice before, but we worried they will have made changes that we weren't so keen on. But as it turned out, they hadn't really. They changed the name of the cafe, so they rebranded it, but it was basically the same menu, which is delicious. So many lovely choices, and they do some really interesting drinks as well. Not alcoholic drinks, but soft drinks. Well, they may well do alcoholic drinks. I don't think they're licensed. But anyway, it was a really nice lunch, and we were able to sit outside. First time in probably about 6 months we've sat outside to have lunch, and it was really lovely, because it's set in some quite extensive grounds, this cafe, because it's part of a sort of a wellness centre. So it's got a big it's got like a sort of community orchard area where people can go and do, I don't know, gardening. There was a group in the field behind us, but not right on top of us, so they were well away. But there was a big group doing yoga outside, which I couldn't see because it was behind me, but I think it was entertaining my husband enormously. And yeah, it was lovely. It was good. It was good for us to do that. I think Richard's really not been feeling very well, so he wasn't feeling all that. He's not been very interested in food for the last few days, and he wasn't sure he was going to be hungry. And I said, well, I'm hungry, so let's just go and see how you feel. And he was really glad he did, because he really enjoyed it. I think it did him good. So that's actually covered quite well. I'm wondering if I need another coat. Obviously I need that to dry, but what I thought I might do afterwards is, I'm getting all gold on my fingers. I've got my gold 10 texture paste, and I thought I might just do a bit of texture paste around in the gold again, so it'll kind of give it that slightly more ornate feel. I've got a stencil that hopefully will work. So I'll just dry this off and clear up, and then we'll come back and do the next. Okay, so the next step, I've got my Heidi Swapp gold texture paste, and I've got this stencil by Tim Holtz. It's called Flourish. I don't know what the number is, but I don't suppose anybody cares. I don't. Right, so I thought I would try. I think I will hold this in place. Something I very often forget to do. If I get it in a spot where I think it would look nice. It's hard to tell how it will look. I just want it to have an ornate, sort of slightly curly kind of appearance. We'll see how that looks. So I'm going to tape it in place. Makes a change for me to do that. I really should do it more often when I'm using stencils. Alright, let's see if we can get this to look like I hope. So I've got to do a nice blob of the texture paste. Got my well-used spatula here. We'll see how it goes, shall we? Right, I think we've well covered that. Let's see. So I'm going to take off the washi tape at the side. And the other side. And at the top. And then peel it back, and we'll see what we've got, shall we? Bear in mind it will have gone all over the sides, all over the edges and onto the paper. So we just need to see how the actual frame has turned out. So if I get my tweezers. Move that aside. Ooh, yes. Yes, I'm liking that. So I think we need to, well, I need to obviously clean my stencil, clean my spatula, whatever that is. I'm always forgetting the name of it. And yeah, we'll have a look at it. Dry that off. See what we've got. I'm liking how that's turned out. Going better than I expected, this one, I think. Okay, that's dry now. So next thing I need to do is put on my piece of transparent acetate, which is what the whole prompt is all about, is having the transparent. I've got this old CD case. Sorry, I was trying to say two things at once. So yes, we need the transparent part to fit in with the prompt. And one of the benefits of having a bit of a clear out is I found a whole pile of these old plastic CD cases, which I kept purely for this kind of thing, for using for windows, but they'd got buried. So I've just cut round the sides to separate the two halves, and then I can just cut a piece across. I think it's hard for you to see actually, isn't it? Well, I need a piece of, I'll put a piece of paper, piece of white paper, and then you can see, hopefully you can see a bit more what I'm doing. It's really hard to tell because it's just clear plastic, so whatever you put it on, you can't really see it. So yeah, I was going to just roughly measure where I need to cut it, make sure that I cover the window fully. Cut it back there. And cut it off again. You can't see, but I have, hopefully I'm cutting it off at more or less the right place to make sure the window area is covered. Like that. So we're just going to turn it over and glue that on. So easy to lose these little pieces of plastic, isn't it? Hopefully I'll try and brush it outwards so that it doesn't go onto the window. So away from the opening as best I can. Right, so now we have our little window, a piece of transparent acetate, and now we can put our lovely lady in there. So she's going to need a little trim, not a lot. I think I just need to trim her at the side. Maybe one side will be sufficient. Maybe do just a little tiny bit both sides. Make sure she's straight. A little tiny bit. I want to keep her, make sure she stays central. Let's see if that's enough. Oh, where's it gone? Where's my frame gone? Has it hidden itself under here? Look at that. That was foolish. I forgot there was a piece of plastic under there that it could stick to. Thought it was hollow. Don't think it's done any damage. Would have been a bit sad, wouldn't it, after all this? So what I want to do now, oh, she's a bit tall, so I need to just trim her off. I'll just do that with my scissors. Because I've got to keep her as quite close to this edge, because I don't want to lose any more of her than I have to. So that should do it. So now I need to be very careful where I put my glue. Let's put it right. Whoop. the sides. I might just spread it up a little bit here because I don't want it to squidge downwards and cover the window at all. I've already got some on there. Where's my little wipe? I forgot the acetate was on back here. So quickly I forget. So the glue sort of sliding about. Okay. And it turns out the texture paste is still a little tacky. I'll take that away. There we are. Okay, so we now have our lady in her picture frame. Where's the background gone? There it is. So there she is in her frame, but she needs to be hanging from something. We need to have something to attach her to the wall, don't we? So all I pulled out, I've got this embroidery thread, and I thought I could just glue that. So I think I need to. I don't want it too frayed at the end, but I'm going to tuck it behind the frame. And shall I do a line of glue? Maybe that's what I need to do. Where do I want it to go from? Not right at the end. So let's see. It's kind of got to go to the middle there. And from her about there. So I'm just going to do a line of glue to join those 2 points. I hope. And bring it down a bit. And then I'm going to glue some of this embroidery thread on that line. Straight, possibly, would be good. Okay, straight. Just cut that like that. And then we'll just glue that just a little higher up. And then we'll do the other one. So it's got to be about the same. Let's make sure it's lined up properly. From about there. Might actually put her up a little higher, but I think that'll be okay. And then we'll go down a bit more. So far so good. And then we glue this piece into place. I did think about using some gold thread, but I thought, well, that might be a bit over the top with the gold frame. And I think I might put something there. So then we can glue that onto there, like that. And there she's hanging. So let's glue that on. So I said it's a fairly simple idea, it's just got a few processes to get there. But it's been quite fun to do. I'm hoping it does convey the transparent sort of prompt sufficiently. Like that. But this is how I chose to interpret it, and interpretation is everything, isn't it, with these prompts? Any prompts. It's all about how you interpret them. Okay. So I was thinking maybe I need a little something just to off to the side there, just to make it a little more less flat. So I've got my little book of flowers. I haven't quite finished it yet. I haven't wrapped it round like I normally do with some fabric or lace, but I thought I'd have a quick look to see if there's anything in here that I could just have going, kind of growing up the side in a way. So I've got this. Oh, that's too big. These are some Roxy Creations flowers that I've got. And they're quite... Ooh, that's no good, is it? I'll cover up completely. They're quite big, these flowers, or most of them are, but I thought I'd see if there's anything, because they're kind of the right kind of vibe, the right sort of flowers. What about this one? I quite like that, I think. Maybe bring it off to the edge a bit. I think it goes quite nicely. It goes in with the background quite nicely. I might just ink around it a bit. Let's get my vintage photo in. Whoop. And then I'll just trim off the edges. I'm just going to, ink it up a little bit. Because she has got quite a vintage look. Well, the whole card is quite vintagey, isn't it? Oh, sorry about that. Somebody's revving their engine out there. And I do have my window open. I'm beginning to regret it now. What on earth is going on? Why do people have to do that? I do apologise for that nasty engine noise, nasty engine revving noise in the background. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a lawnmower. Maybe he's starting up his lawnmower, I'm not sure. Right, so I was going to put this on here like that, wasn't I? Yeah, I like that. I think that just gives it a bit more interest. And let's get that on, and then I'll just trim off the bits that are off to the side. Right. Come like that. Probably do with putting something under here to lift it, but I didn't, so it's just going to float. So I'm going to trim off these bits. Oh, I think it's finally driven away. Goodness me, what a racket. Okay, so yeah, liking that. And then I think we want a little word of some sort, or some kind of phrase or something. Did I? I pulled something out. No, I don't know what I've done with it. What did I do with it? Oh, it's up here. These are some of the Tim Holtz words and phrases that I've inked over, so they look a bit more vintage. Yeah, this is the one I thought would be quite nice on here. Live each day with grace and authenticity, because I feel like she's quite a graceful lady. So, live each day with grace and authenticity. And I'm just going to cut it there after the word grace. Give it a little ink. Glue that on. Now I've got one last little job I want to do. Little thing I want to do. And then this was done. And I've enjoyed this one. It's kind of gone how I imagined it. It hasn't given me too much trouble. Makes a nice change. And I really like how it's turned out. There we are. Live each day with grace and authenticity. And I think that's just something that she might do. Yeah, I want to put a little brad up the top here, so it looks like it's using it to fix. I've got to go and find my brads because they're still in the box, but the box is out, so I'll be right back. Right, got my little box of brads. Found one that I think would look nice. It's sort of a brass colour. So let's close that up. And I'm just going to poke a hole. Use my glue book to poke a hole. And where's it gone? I had my poker tool in my hand. There it is. So I'll kind of poke the hole right there. Hopefully that's big enough. Let's see if it will go through. Quite near the top, but it's thick card, so it should hold it. There we are, yes, that's good. These things are always a bit challenging, how to split them. Yep, got it. Go that way, that's it. Okay, we have it. It is done. So this was for the prompt transparent, and I don't know if you can see the light catching the acetate there, and there's the transparent window for this picture frame. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I hope it fits in with the prompt, but I'm pleased with it anyway. So thank you very much for joining me. It is really good to be back, and this was fun to come back with. Something I'm never really entirely comfortable with. But I'm glad I've managed to do it, and I will keep going. The next few, there's one coming up in a few weeks' time that I think may well challenge me, but we'll see. But I'm gonna keep it up. I'm just gonna possibly duck out now and again. Hopefully not too often. So I'll see you soon. It'll be Moon Goddess Journal next. Can't wait to get on with that. See you by then. Bye.